Let me know if you can hear me. The Watchman, please. I pieced this video together, and I'm going to play it. To some people, this video is going to make sense. To some people, this video will not make any sense. So yeah, let's get a few people in. Thank y'all for coming. I hear the booms around Idaho could be. Can you hear me? Because I'm fixing to run this video. This is all I have time for. Thank you. I don't want this video to be a waste of your time. All right, you know how I showed this Black Swan by Laura Trump? A black swan on each side. You know how I keep saying the storm is coming. This video is not about fear. Disclaimer, YouTube, this video is for entertainment purposes only. All right, this lady believes possibly that the Golden Gate Bridge, the stock market, a crash may possibly be imminent.
Hey everyone, Jade Girl Q. So we got some big numbers today. Elon Musk told us 7/11 on the summer solstice, June 21st, 2022, 7/11. So we know 7/11 is the go code, but do we know why? Well, Genesis 7/11, right? The flood began the second month, the 17th day, and it lasted for 40 days. We also have Oppenheimer released on 7/11, so the nuclear war is equal to 7/11. What else do we have? The fall of the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire, if you look it up, 7/11 again.
Look at this picture from Trump a few days ago, and look in his hand. You'll see the Q.
The 7/11 means a number of things, but it's also letting us know the timing of the events that are about to take place. And let's look at this. The summer solstice was June 21st, 2022. None of us ever thought it would take this long, right? Here we are, September 3rd. Exactly 1,170 days from today. So are we ready to see what 7/11 means? I mean, we all know what the Black Swan event is, right? Golden Gate Bridge, he told us, but the rest of the world is about to find out. 11/7, there it is, front and center. Isn't it beautiful? So Elon Musk told us 7/11, and he also told us must be great nets. And he told us must be great nets on September 11th, 2023. So that's what let us know the mark, right? Because that's an interesting day to be posting about a very prominent landmark in California, a day that is dedicated to the Twin Towers. So the anniversary, the 24-year anniversary of September 11th is next week. And like I told you before, this is all about our DNA unlocking. So everything has to complete as far as our DNA unlocking by September 11th, 2025. And the reason why is because 23 years after 9/11, our DNA unlocks. Not 24 years, not 25 years, 23 years. So it's all coming to a head, and it has to come to a head by next week. If D-class is going to make any sense, then our DNA has to unlock in the 23rd year. They could do done in 30, but then it screws up the math to show everybody around the world during D-class and makes it complicated. So I don't think that's the case. So in my mind, we have we have 8 days to clean things up and to unlock our DNA. So the time is now. So 1,170 days ago, Elon Musk posted 7-Eleven. And he posted the Golden Gate Bridge exactly.
I've admittedly told y'all that I don't do gematria or any of these numbers.
23 months and 23 days ago. 23 years after 9/11, our DNA unlocks. It doesn't get much clearer than that. 23. So when I talk about our DNA unlocking and I talk about the Bible passage it goes to, which leads to all the numerology, what type of passage do I always talk about? It all leads back to Genesis 3:22-23. The man has learned the difference between good and evil. He can now reach out his hand and take and eat from the tree of life and live forever. 3:22-23. Right? So that when I talk about our DNA unlocking, it all has to do with this one passage. We've been learning the difference between good and evil before ascension. And the reason why is so that when we ascend and we have more power than we've ever had in our lives, we choose to fight for the little man. We choose to fight for good rather than fight for evil, right? With with great power comes great responsibility. So with all those numbers dating back to Elon Reeves Musk, mind you, Elon Reeves Musk. Why Elon Reeves Musk? Because the bridge between Elon and Superman is Tesla, Nikola Tesla. Quantum energy turns man into Superman.
Somewhat melodramatic, but I was worried about that it was having a corrosive effect on civilization, that it was just having a bad impact. It's where it was located, which is downtown San Francisco. And while I think San Francisco is a beautiful city and we should really fight hard to kind of right the ship of San Francisco, if you've walked around downtown San Francisco, right near the FK Twitter headquarters, it's a zombie apocalypse. I mean, it's rough. Have you been in that area?
Not lately. No.
Yeah.
I've heard.
It's crazy.
I've heard it's crazy. I've heard you really can't believe it until you actually go there.
You can't believe it until you go there. And you have to say, well, what philosophy led to that outcome? And that philosophy was being piped to Earth. So, a philosophy that would be ordinarily quite niche and geographically constrained, so that the fallout area would be limited, was effectively given an information weapon. Information technology weapon to propagate what is essentially a mind virus to the rest of Earth. And the outcome of that mind virus is very clear if you walk around the streets of downtown San Francisco. It is the end of civilization.
That's why Elon Reeves Musk has been put front and center. So with 322 being the number and 23, all regarding our ascension, today makes the perfect sense because September 11th, 2001 to today is exactly 23 years, 11 months, and 23 days ago.
A little special something we have here.
Thank you.
A very special that I give to very special people. I have given it to some, but it goes to very special people, and I thought I'd give it to Elon as a presentation from our country.
Thank you.
Thank you, Elon.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you. I love that. This is amazing.
So look at that in a mirror. 322-23. There's your ascension Bible code right there for it's going to be biblical. It's right there in the numbers. So if it's not today, if the fallout is not today, then it would be next week on the 10th, which would be your 11-3. 23 years, 11 months, and 30 days. 11-3, the military is the only way. So we're literally coming up to the precipice. Everything is coming up to now. But Elon's post for 7-Eleven signals that it is tonight, 11,070 days later. So 11,070 is not going to be the same number next week. So it would only make sense if it was tonight. So it's getting really exciting. So with that in mind, we have Q post 44 and 55 to look at. So Q post 44, before POTUS departs on Friday, he will be sending an important message via Twitter. God bless. Look to Twitter. Exactly this. My fellow Americans, the storm is upon us. Like I've said 1,000 times, when our DNA unlocks, we are the storm. Think X-Men storm, right? We are the storm. So look to Twitter. Why? Because Twitter is now X, and X marks the spot, right? Because of our X chromosome that is unlocking. So if we look at Q post 44 and Q post 55, you can see that they were dated November 2nd, 2017. So another confirmation that we are at the precipice for it this week. would be November 2nd, 2017. To today is exactly 7 years, 10 months, and 11 days, or 1 day. So there's your 7-11, 711, 711. How many 7-Elevens until mathematically impossible, right? So Q posted, "My fellow Americans, the storm is upon us," and looked to Twitter exactly 7 years, 10 months, and 1 day ago. And Q post 1, which was dated October 28th, 2017, was also released 7 years and 10 months ago. So 7 years, 10 months, and 7 days from tomorrow. So we got 17s everywhere, and 17 equals Q, Q equals quantum. So everything is lining up beautifully for the storm to start now. And it's all
We're being told
thanks to Nikola Tesla, right? Tesla starts the storm because when they flip the switch onto quantum energy, that's what unlocks our DNA. So if we look at Nikola Tesla's profile, designed by Operation Mockingbird, his name, his profile, everything, like I tell you all the time. So he was born on July 10th. July 10th equals 17. He died on January 7th, which also equals 17. This is how we know that their profiles are designed by Operation Mockingbird, because it's all there in the numbers. Born on 17, died on 17, because 17 equals Q, Q equals quantum, and he's behind Nikola Tesla quantum energy. So it's all there in the numbers. So it makes perfect sense if all of this is going back to Nikola Tesla and quantum energy, that Nikola Tesla's 170th birthday on July 10th, 2026, next year, is exactly 10 months and 7 days from tonight. So how many 17s till mathematically impossible? It certainly seems like we are on the precipice. So if we look at another confirmation, when was Tesla founded? Tesla was founded on July 1st, 2003. July 1st, 2003 to today. Exactly 22 years, 2 months, and 2 days from today. 2222 is the biblical debt jubilee. So it's kind of interesting. And that would mean that tomorrow would be 22 years, 2 months, and 3 days. Too bad it's not 23. So if we look at another confirmation, we have Beyonce's birthday tomorrow. And not just any birthday, her 44th birthday. And Beyonce is tied to Jay-Z, right? Her spouse is Jay-Z. Jay-Z allegations dropped on December 9th. December 9th is the same day that Jussie Smollett was found guilty. Jussie Smollett, if you remember, pull it up for those of you who don't know who he is. Jussie Smollett starred in Empire. So him being found guilty signals the empire is falling, right? So Jay-Z the allegations were dropped or put out in public on December 9th, same day that Jussie Smollett was found guilty from Empire, signaling that the empire is falling December 9th. So Jay-Z sings the song Empire State of Mind. And he sings Empire State of Mind with Alicia Keys. Alicia Keys was made famous from the song Falling. The empire is falling. They're telling you the empire is falling, right? The Roman Empire. Elon Musk told us it's like watching the Roman Empire fall again. And the day he posted that was September 25th, the birthday of Christopher Reeves, because man turning into Superman is the fall of the empire, right? Us getting our power back. So Beyonce, if you remember, did the Kansas City Chiefs Christmas football game where Beyonce dressed like a white cowboy with Bang behind her. Do you remember that? So Merry Christmas, because it was on Christmas, expect a bang. And she was dressed like a white cowboy. So Merry Christmas, Ann, and celebrate this day in a special way. So let's see if Q has a post that says bang in it. Think stages. What role can military intel play? What role can the NSA play? Bang. Look at the numbers. It doesn't seem to be slowing down or wrapping up either. And that's dated July 1st. Let's see any other good ones. No, that seems to be it. But Merry Christmas, and celebrate this day in a special way because you are now special. So the fact that Beyonce is turning 44 tomorrow, expect Q Post 44, expect a bang, because she told us our Christmas to expect a bang, and Christmas comes early this year, like we know. So today from Christmas, December 25th, 2025, is, of course, would you expect anything less, 3 months and 22 days from today. 322, Genesis 322. It's all there in the numbers. It's always there in the numbers. So out of curiosity, let's see, how many days has it been since Macaulay Culkin's birthday? 8 days. So tomorrow would be 9 days. 10 days, Christmas. 10 days, darkness, expect a bang. What is that bang? The bang is the Golden Gate Bridge. Why? Because it's the key that unlocks all doors. What door does it open? It opens the door to D-Class. It opens the door to our DNA unlocking. It opens the door to the wealth transfer. So it's the key that opens all doors to our freedom. So June 21st, 2022 was the summer solstice. And that's the birthday of Edward Snowden. Freedom of the press, Edward Snowden. Think of the movie Snowden. So if you go to YouTube, see if they even have it, because they tend not to do a lot of these videos on YouTube if it has a lot of intel, especially from Leave the World Behind. But see if I can find it real quick.
What was it like there?
Well, in the first part of my day, I was building this round-the-clock backup system called Epic Shelter. So if there was some catastrophe, say terrorists burned down every embassy and NSA post in the Middle East, this program would ensure we wouldn't lose any of that data. But then I would have to put it aside when visitors would show up. NSA wanted to impress the Japanese, show them our reach. They loved the live drone feeds. This is Pakistan right now. They were not as thrilled to learn that we wanted them to help us spy on the Japanese population. They said it was against their laws. Of course, we tapped the entire country anyway. And we didn't stop there. Once we owned their communication system, we started going after their physical infrastructure. We'd slip these little sleeper programs into power grids, dams, hospitals. And the idea was, if the day came when Japan was no longer an ally, it'd be lights out. And it wasn't just the Japanese. We were planning malware in Mexico, Germany, Brazil, Austria. I mean, China, I can understand, or Russia, or Iran, Venezuela, okay, but Austria? You're also being ordered to follow most world leaders and heads of industry. You know, you're tracking trade deals, sex scandals, diplomatic cables to give the U.S. an advantage in negotiations at the G8, or leverage over Brazilian oil companies, or helping to oust some third world leader who's not playing ball.
So did you get that? We have 7/11 on the summer solstice, which also happens to be Edward Snowden's birthday. And in Snowden, the movie, they talk about inserting sleeper cells into countries' programs, including their power plants, their dams, and their infrastructure. So if at any point they decide that they no longer want to play ball and they are no longer allies, it becomes lights out. Now we are over here waiting on a blackout. Blackout necessary. Boom, 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 boom. So boom and bang, basically the same thing. We're waiting on the booms. We're waiting on the Golden Gate Bridge. We're waiting on the Statue of Liberty and any other of the 34 structures on the satanic structure list that they decide are worthy of taking out.
By no means do I know if anything's coming. I'm just playing a video. Okay, I left the link to the lady on the Rumble channel down in the description. Please tap the thumbs up, share this, subscribe to the channel. Ladies and gentlemen, I know this video was a little different. Thank y'all for watching. This is all I had time for this morning. Kim Blanchard, The Good Life Off Grid, Ivor Billy, The Watchman, Denise Boyd Martinez, Matt Davis, The Stats, John P., Piper Lynn, Rebecca Lynn. Thank y'all for coming in and watching this. Susan from Australia, thank you. Y'all have a good day. I'll try to do a live stream later. If not, it'll be tomorrow. Thank y'all.